All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:30 on the nose. Red Dog's on time today. Listen, it's been hard to be on time. Just to let you guys know, I've been doing this 20 to 5:20 every morning where I'm working out in my sauna. We're getting the mobility, the blood flow, and doing a nice full body workout as I discuss what positions I'm coming in, what's going on around the world, what the news flow is as I get ready with multiple plans. While endorphins are elevated and we're thinking clearly and we're not sitting in front of a screen. Sometimes it's a good way to settle in. Then we come in here in the 6:30 club and we get, the charts and we get the levels. And, once you get the mind right, the X's and O's are a lot easier. So anyway, take a look at this chart and everyone's like, oh my God, what a move lower. I'm like, yeah, it's been in 3 weeks, we've almost got 10% off the highs in the S&P, almost 12 or 13% in the Qs, and lots of the names that were the darlings of Wall Street got cut in half. Guess what? If you have a process and a plan, you knew how to get out of the way. When we broke the 8 and 21 day in Tesla, in Amazon, in NVIDIA, in whatever name you're looking at, when you're active for a living, you get out of the way. I have probably 1,000 different evergreen little blog posts about the 8 and 21 day. When you're above it, you're long. You try and be in a portfolio approach. When you're below, you're tactical. You're out of the way. You're testing levels. In order to get to the 200 day, you got to break the 8 day. And then I talk tactics on how to make money when you're tactical. But anyway, take a quick look at this chart. I posted it before. People want to know the percentage, moves off the highs. And here you go. So ever since the Red Dog reversal here, which happened on February 17th, where we did that false breakout, we've been down for pretty much 4 weeks in a row. We went about 9.8% or maybe even 10% off the highs. That was your low. So this is 9.8% off highs. This is 12.5%. This is 14, and this is 16. These are all the levels down to the August 5th lows. If you remember the August 5th lows, by the way, the August 5th lows that we had over the summer from 56, 70 down to here was about 10% also. Very similar. I'm not expecting a 3-candle move up like this. I'm just saying, that's how oversold we are. So if we were to bounce, you have 56, 66, 57, 73, and this would probably be the rubber match spot for the bears if we do get a bounce coming up soon. That's a big if. I've put a third of my wife's blood in the street account into this move, averaged about 8% off the highs. If you remember here, into this move, I did about a third too. I don't know if I got a half in. I think I only got a third in because it happened so fast. During this move, I got almost 2/3. But anyway, that's where we're at. So we go to the daily chart. You can see things a little bit more clear. This is the daily chart. Here are your levels. Feels like every day there's been a small little, red dog reversal where you go below a level, you could short there, it accelerates down, finds a bottom, tries to reclaim it, gives you a push, comes back and forth. And there is money there. You have to keep it. Yesterday, there felt like there was 6 to 7 different parts of the day where I think the first 3 I made and lost a lot of money. And then finally, I kept a big portion of it. If we would have kept rallying into the end of the day, I would have had probably my best day of the year. Instead, it was just a good day. Now, here we are on CPI day where a lot could change at 8:30. So anyway, here is 55.28. This was the low that we played as the pivot. This is pretty much your resistance zone right here. If we get some kind of rally today, I would think we can get somewhere into here, which is the low of March 7th, yesterday's high. This would be a spot. And then again, here is, your 200 day, your 8 day. Ultimately, if we get like a week of reprieve, a week and a half of an oversold bounce, I would think that, this would be, your likely spot. But this could happen. I hope it happens. It'd be nice. Nice to just, get a move up, retrace back to the 8 day, make a little bit of money long, and then think about reshorting again if that's going to be the case. But again, we'll see. We'll know a lot more after after 8:30. At this point, here are the spies. You can map out levels also. Mapping out levels help. Really, really help. Like if you knew 570 on that Friday, you could have made money buying 565 that I gave you, playing it through 570, selling a whole bunch into the 572s and 4s, and not get caught. Anyway, with that being said, we've worked all the way to 552. Here's 555. So pivot resistance, this is your first spot, which, it'd be nice if we could see this today, but I'm not saying we are, but it would be nice. So 562.87, and then here's 565. So this is what I call like the easy bounce. not a huge bounce. And then this would be a bigger area. It's probably not a today story, even if we do get an inline or a cool CPI, more of maybe a here through Friday story if they happen to get some kind of budget deal also, and maybe we do get a ceasefire in the Ukraine for a month or so. So here are your 4 levels. I always like to write them down, have them in front of me, and then here is support. And then if for some reason we have a really hot CPI and all of a sudden we're down 100 handles, this is your next spot. So you always want to prepare with levels where we can go, what's on the decline, what's leading what, right? That's not too hard to do, is it? So I'm coming in today with a little risk on. This is the alpha team. The alpha team are my dogs. The alpha team is the crew that I trade all day long with. They get to see my positions. They get to see execution. A lot of them have great ideas. Most of them trade for a living. I've already came in. I trimmed a little bit of my Tesla this morning. Oh, these are all the buys and sells from yesterday. I don't know why it hasn't adjusted, but that's what I have overnight. So I trimmed a little bit of Tesla this morning, a little bit of Meta this morning, because just in case it's a hot CPI, I have to net some money. So with my sell rules is I always trim into a gap that's in my favor to net money. And then if we don't hold above a prior high, which we haven't been above a prior high in a while, so that rule hasn't mattered. And then if we go red, you sell some. If you go below a prior low, you sell some. And then if things change, you get the hell out of the way. Print out those sell rules, because every time I list those sell rules when you need them, everyone's like, oh, well, why are you telling me after the fact? I'm like, I'm not telling you after the fact. I'm telling you for 20 years. Anyway, by the way, I appreciate some of you guys who have subscribed to the Red Dog Mindset, which is the 20 at 520, the whiteboard weekends, and it's a whole lot more than that. At some point, if you find value in the 630 Club and you've been watching it since 2020, you should subscribe, because come the summer, there's going to be some changes, and I want you to be grandfathered in. So subscribe to the button above. So with that said, we'll see what happens today. This is the alpha team. They're saying something happened with Baba. Let's see. It's Baba. I have options in Baba. That'd be nice if it's up. Is it up? Let's go to Baba. Baba's not doing a whole hell of a lot. The China names are down a little bit, but they were up a bunch yesterday. What I might do with Baba is I might roll out my options. I'm thinking that at some point, this Baba could take out this 145 and continue. It's been building. If you remember, we had a lot of options in here. So I would think, hey, maybe you want to buy the 145 30s, or maybe 145 by 155. So you spend a little less, go 2 weeks out, and chances are this could be a good trade. Thank goodness I went out multiple weeks for NEO, and all of a sudden yesterday I got paid big. Look at the size of this candle in NEO yesterday. Wow. I have in here, if you look at the alpha team, they get to see the trades. I've had the NEO 5s on that are March 21st and the 550s, and all of a sudden they were like a double yesterday. And it shows I trim all day. I had overnight trimmed yesterday. But again, these are yesterday's. It hasn't adjusted yet for this morning yet. But anyway, so why Tesla today? Well, why do I have it? Because it did a red dog reversal. You guys know the red dog reversal. Who knows the red dog reversal? Raise their hand. Google red dog reversal. You can see 100 lessons. So what happened yesterday? After a huge decline from the red dog reversal sell. Hey, that was a sell. Got above 488 and failed. Then you had a lower high, and then it's been for sale ever since. So yesterday, it went below and reclaimed 220 to give you its first, not a first, it's had a few red dog reversals that's failed, a little reversal move where you could have made money trading it yesterday. And now we'll see, does it want to bounce back towards, 250 or even the 8-day? So I took some, but I'm also trimming some. So it's a nice little overnight. So tactically, yes, you can make some money. Tesla right now is up 7 and change. So that's nice. It denies, so I sold some. That's what I do as an active trader that trades for a living. I'm going to try and hold some. Can Tesla stay above 237? That's the other sell rule. If it does, hey, maybe it opens the door for a move to 250. Wouldn't that be nice? We'll see. It's just a trade in the life on a Wednesday. Let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Let's see. Twitter's working today. Oh, P-Train. I like that. What's up, Alan? You have Baba also? Okay, let me see. These are guys from YouTube. By the way, you should join the T3 Live YouTube channel just in case Twitter's been getting hacked and has some problems. Plus maybe you could see a lot of the people from all over the, we have a lot of content providers from T3 that are just as good, if not better than me. So you could take a look at them. So uranium stocks, I don't have any uranium stocks. I used to. It's just Jim. I know everybody hates the IWM now, but notice the monthly cup and handle back. That's interesting. So Jim's saying, hey, you know what? If one of the narratives are that Trump keeps breaking the economy and rates are going to go lower, rates lower should be decent for the IWM. So I guess down here, it's not a horrible situation. It's been obviously battered and bruised. So this wedge broke to the downside at 236, and then this inside wedge broke at 222. So here we are. So, when people like the IWM, you can't buy them. So if people hate them, maybe you could buy them. So what you probably could do is if I would go out a month and maybe put on like a 207 by 215 call spread, or maybe you go out and, don't put too much money to work and do something like, I would say, this has already moved down. Maybe do like a 207 by 215 call spread. You probably risk 2 to make 2 to 300%. And then if it starts acting better, then maybe you buy the IWMs. But for now, the IWM has been absolutely horrendous. But I get it. That's a good idea. Buy it. Get it done says, what about Baidu? Baidu is okay. I think it's very, very undervalued. It's underloved. It hasn't done a thing. Like if you look here, it's pretty sloppy. I kind of had, me and Baidu are like this lately, where I took a lot of options into earnings and didn't work. So, but you could be long adverse 92. You look at the weekly chart of Baidu and it's done absolutely nothing. Remember with this, it was went to 350, broke 250. Look at the difference between Baidu and Baba. Like Baidu is still down here. You would think at some point it wakes up. So yeah, you could put on some long-term money. It hasn't woken up yet. You look at Baba woke up. Baba, look at that move. Baba was fantastic. Baba was one of my biggest trades in the first quarter right here. Okay, now it's putting in another nice little bull flag right ahead of 145. So, what's the next level in Baba? Actually, it's a good idea to do this now. Baba could see 175. So Baba is acting well. So you're anticipating Baidu getting better, which I get. So, this is a nice bull flag on the weekly. Yeah, this Baba looks great. We've made a lot of money here. So anyway, if you think the Chinese names are going to continue, Baba is the lead dog. And then you have Baidu's a maybe, PDD's a maybe, JD's a maybe. What does JD look like? Somebody asked me. Sloppy as hell. Let's go back to America. Well, let's bring it back to America. Someone's like, what happened to Apple? I told you guys on Monday when that news came out, watch Apple, watch 233. If it breaks, get the hell out of the way. No one was really in it. And look how quickly this broke 233. You literally had, 5 minutes to sell it there, in this inside wedge. And now, I don't know, it's kind of not really that beat up, but it's also, there's not really not a lot of good news around it. It could get a bounce, I guess. 217-ish is the low end of the channel. But it's been tough. Even when it's been strong and rallies $3.50, all of a sudden it rolls over and fails. How about SMCI? I'll get to that in a second. I'd rather see you buy. Like I bought Meta, thinking that Meta, from 740 down into this support area. Get rid of this now. Is a better buy. That's why I bought Meta. I think there's just a lot less controversy over it between China, this and that. So I think that that Meta was a good buy. You could be a long adverse 580, and we'll see if it wants to. If the markets rally, if we get some kind of oversold bounce, I could see this getting up to the 623 area. Why not? Yesterday's high is what, 614. So Meta, I think, is just a little less of a battleground. Sometimes you don't want to just be where the battleground is. This is 623. Yeah. So, again, what you want to do is you want to say where's support, and if we do get some kind of oversold bounce, where could things get to? So for Meta, it can get to probably 623. Amazon has been acting decent for itself too. Amazon, some guys got long versus 190. Yes, they tried to rally. What did I say? It can go to probably 202-ish. It tried. Again, these things are so damn broken. Anyway, we sold Neo and Power Plays and missed the rally. All right, well, you could have bought it back. I went out 3 weeks. But anyway, happens. Power Plays are supposed to be for trending moves. Okay, things that can last for 1 to 3 weeks. They're not for day trades. They're not for cash flow. If you want to be that for cash flow and day trades, the alpha team is every single day. Power plays are when we're trending. Power plays is when I could have 5, 6 things that are above the 8 and 21 day where you could hold them for multiple weeks and have power, not a red dog reversal trade. By the time I get it approved by compliance, okay, and get it out there, it's not as timely as real time. So real time is alpha team, Redler All Access. Power plays are you're not a professional trader. You just want to be told what to do, and I could hopefully make you money, consistently over time where you're not paying attention to the market. You just want to be told what to do with the stop. But anyway, in a volatile market, there's not many power plays unless you're short, and that's not what most people want in power plays. But anyway, let's move on. Someone asked me about SMCI. This is one of those, obviously, battleground names. It did show some relative strength yesterday. Some people on the alpha team actually pointed it out. I did not buy it. But, I could see just like everything else, this was just 66. It came in, retested this area, got above this. So 47-ish is probably a spot. Probably, I would think it's up a little bit with the market. Maybe not. Maybe yes. It's up 50 cents. I'd rather see you just play NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been grinding down. NVIDIA has been great. Why has NVIDIA been great? Because it's been giving us clues to the day. Yesterday broke below 105.46, hit 104, gave you another move up. Looks like the 8 days right here. This is yesterday's high is 112.24. We'll see. Today's my thought is if we do get some kind of oversold bounce, can anything get back to yesterday's high, and can anything get over yesterday's high to show a little power? It hasn't happened. If it does, that would give you some clues that, hey, maybe, we could start a little bit more of a better bounce. The 8 day right now is, this is 113-ish, so it's not that far away. 113-ish. Let's see what's NVIDIA doing this morning. Let's see. NVIDIA is up $2. So, NVIDIA is at 110.74. Has room. Yesterday's high is 112.80. No, yesterday's high is what? Let's get this out of the way. Yesterday's high is 112.24. So a lot of these things have some room to yesterday's highs, but again, at 6:48 in the morning, and the CPI coming at 8:30, unless you took some things home overnight, which I did do, I wouldn't just be buying things now. If anything, I'd be trimming some things. I'm trimming some things, and I'm keeping some of my options into the print just in case the print helps fuel a bigger move. Avago. Yeah, Avago, with NVIDIA and Avago, I think is all you need in semiconductor land. And it'd be nice to see if a name can get above a lower pivot. If Avago, if you're long versus 177 and 180, I think that's, it's showing a little bit better technical action than other names. Maybe you get a move up towards this 202-ish. And if that happens and says, hey, look, one name got above a lower pivot, maybe a few can. That's a leading indicator, not guys speaking on TV. A leading indicator is leadership stocks, not people. Did you miss Tesla? I don't know. Did you? Tesla gave you a red dog reversal. If you were in it from yesterday, you're getting paid. Now the question is, you have to get through the CPI. It's up 7. You're missing a little follow through. Now the question is, can it hold 237, which is right here? And if it can hold 237, kind of work towards 250. That's your next little spot. If the CPI is hot and the market futures go from up 35 to down 40, chances are you'll be able to buy Tesla a little bit versus yesterday's support levels and figure it out that way. Trend spider chart, Q chart, interesting. What'd they say? I'm in some Qs for, I'm in some options. I'm not in Qs themselves. If the Qs want to bounce, a real bounce, you would think it can get up towards, this is not just today. Today it'd be nice if we could just even see yesterday's high. We haven't seen a day before high in a while. So 478 is the Qs. The Qs started acting better yesterday. One of my friends, when we were trading, the reason why we tried to play a bounce yesterday is because the leading stocks that led us lower, like Apple Oven led us lower, Palantir led us lower, Reddit led us lower. They were all green and up a decent amount while the indices were still heavy. So that gave you some clues that maybe cover some shorts, we could get a bounce. There's always clues out there depending on where you look, and I try and help you find them. But anyway, It's 650. CPI is at 830. The consumer price index, I think if it's in line, it could help push the futures a little bit more. If it's lighter, maybe even a little bit more. If it's hot, we'll see where we are, and see what's buyable on a dip, if we could hold or not. Here's your 467, 468. This is yesterday's low. And then this is your resistance zone. Okay, so we'll see what kind of move we have here. And then this is really, bigger, but that's probably not a today story. So hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're keeping your mind right. For those of you who have subscribed to the 520 and 520 and whiteboard weekends and a whole lot more, I can appreciate you. For those who haven't, and if you're finding value in the 630 Club, where there's about 5,000 to 7,000 of you, which is great, I would subscribe, because over the summer you want to make sure you're grandfathered in. All right, guys, good luck today. Keep your mind right. Keep moving forward. Keep making progress. And I'm telling you, you can have a career in this. I've seen so many traders come and go that could have been, made careers out of this, but they become shells of themselves because they don't have the endurance. Make sure to figure out what you have to have every day to keep your endurance up.